Hi, welcome to Sanctuary in Soil. Today we're going to talk about this. What was supposed to be the beginning of my orchard in the backyard of my house. So I bought 3 trees, 2 apple trees and 1 peach tree. And after doing all the work of planting them, making holes and preparing the soil and planting them, and then baby them, water them, well, it happens to be that a few days later, we came back to the back of the house and found our trees like this and the top of them in the ground. And after doing some research, I found out that this was done by deer with their horns. Apparently in October, November, deer go around looking for places to scratch their horns or whatever that's called. And that is when they destroy, new trees like this. And that is why you see around, when you see new, younger trees, that they have some sort of protection. Well, I didn't know anything. I did not know any of that. And so as a result, lost my trees. The great thing about it is that I call the people where I bought the trees from. It's called Brighter Blooms. I'll put the link below. And they replaced them. And so they had this tree guarantee that I purchased, and so they replaced the trees. All right, so I am going to show you how is the process of planting new trees so that you can see the process and also learn from my mistakes. So let's go ahead and get started. All right, so the first step to exchange the damaged, broken, destroyed trees by the deer, who I really am not liking very much right now, is to get all of the tools and supplies that I got so that not only will I be able to plant the trees, but I will be able to protect them this time. And that way, that will not happen again. So let me show you what supplies I got. Now, full disclosure, I am not an expert in any way. I just decided on these tools and supplies based on a few photographs and some videos. So if I didn't get the right stuff, maybe don't tell me because I'm hoping that it will work anyways. So there are 3 trees that I need to replace. And so the way that I decided that I'm going to protect them is by having 3 T-posts around each tree. Then I'm gonna put a wire fence around them, probably 3 feet away, maybe less, just enough that any deer will not be able to get into it. So 3 T-posts, so it's gonna be a triangle around the tree and then the wire to circle that. And then because I know that I cannot drive the T-posts on my own, and I really don't like to bother my husband too much, and I've seen this in some homesteader videos, I bought this post pounder. I figured it will be helpful. And then just because when you're in the store you cannot not buy stuff, I bought this cute little water can. Isn't that cool? Anyway, so my plan is, like I said, to put 3 T-posts, wire around them, and I'm going to secure them with these cable ties, zip ties. Hopefully that works. And because every time I see books, I have to get some, I got the Ultimate Guide from Home Butchering and the chicken book. My next step is to get chickens, I hope, but I haven't made up my mind just yet. Anyways, all right, so those are the supplies that I got, and I had to get them out of the car and in the area where I'm gonna need them so that I can get started. One more thing, the trees are already here in this box, and again, I bought them from Brighter Blooms. I will put a link below. I cannot tell you much about their trees or product. I can tell you that their service is awesome, and I'm really excited about this. I bought these trees from them before, like I mentioned, as well as another bush,
I forgot the name of it. And so far this has been great. Really, the problem was all mine. So that's how they come in this box, and they put them right here at the end of my driveway. So I'm going to carry all this stuff to the place where we're going to be working on it.
Okay, so here I am in the area where I want to have a little orchard. My ultimate goal is to have 6 fruit trees. Right now, I'm going to replant 3. 2 of them are apples and 1 of them are peaches. And the reason I picked those is because those are the ones that do the best in my zone, 7B, specifically in Georgia. So again, I have the post pounder so I can drive these T-posts into the ground myself. We'll see how it works out. I might end up having to call my husband anyways, but we'll see. And the wire for the fence around the trees is called welded wire. I bought 50 feet. That should be more than enough, but I can use that in other places too. So I have 9 T-posts, 3 for each tree. So let's see how it goes. I'm going to go ahead and unpack the trees and put some water in them. And I'm going to keep them close to the house actually before I bring them out here and risk deer coming and ruin them again. So I'm going to go ahead and do that.
Hello garden. I'll go ahead and put my cute watering can. Yes, you look very cute. Today is not a garden day. Today is a tree day.
Okay, so it's getting a little late, so I'm just gonna get the trees out of the boxes, give them some water, and get them ready to be planted and protected tomorrow. All right, so let's see what they look like. One, and this is the apple tree. Oh, this is the green apple tree, granny apple tree. And oops. This is the red delicious apple tree. Yay!
then, oh, it's supposed to be this way. Oh. And then the pot is protected by a pretty big zip tie. There you go. And this is my peach tree. Okay, so this is the peach contender peach tree. This is the granny green apple tree, and that one is the red delicious apple tree. So I'm gonna, they look really good. The peach tree doesn't have any leaves, but it's probably because it's getting closer to the past the middle of November, so you know it's already winterizing, and the other the leaves are probably gonna come down pretty quick. So they look really good. I'm gonna go ahead and put water in the soil so that they can start soaking some water. And then tomorrow, because as you can see it's getting darker, tomorrow we're going to be, or I want to be planting them and then protecting them so that the deer cannot hurt them again. I hope that you enjoy watching this, and we'll see you tomorrow when I do the next part. Okay? Hi, welcome back to the next day from the replacement of the 3 fruit trees that were destroyed by the deer. So we got a lot done yesterday, and the plan for today is, first of all, to dig the holes out to take the fig trees, not the fig trees, but the fruit trees that were damaged out. And then we are going to, before we bring the other trees, because I want to make sure that I can get it done today, I'm going to then put the post to protect the trees. Once the posts are in, then I know that the rest should be fairly easy. So, and then we're going to bring the trees and put them in there. What I'm going to do is read the instructions that came from the vendor that we bought the trees from. The instructions on how to plant them come in a Ziploc bag, and very simple. Basically it says, step 1, choose the location that gives your plant plenty of room to grow. So they want to make sure that there's enough space for the tree to grow its roots and not get too close. I actually placed my trees 15 feet apart. The trees that I bought are supposed to be at their mature size, 10 feet wide in diameter. That means that they go 5 feet out on each side on size. So then I left 5 feet and then another 5 feet for trees. So basically, I'm assuming that I'm going to have a space of 5 feet at its biggest between the trees. I want to make sure that they get full of light and sun, and these apple trees and peach trees need all that light, and here's the opening that we have for it. And then I'm going to have, as I mentioned earlier this video, that I want to have a total of 3 trees. So I'm going to have 3 here and then 3 more, and that's all that I am going to plant in this space. Anyway, so first step is choose a location that gives your plant plenty of room to grow for the roots. Step 2, dig a hole as deep as the root ball and twice as wide. Now, because this is a freshly dug hole, my husband helped me in the original digging, because we are in Georgia clay and it's really, really hard. So it was really easy, you saw here, for me to open up this hole, and I'm sure the other 3 will be just as easy. So we will already have the hole big enough. Then step 3, remove your plant from its container, and you saw it earlier in the video what it looks like in the container, and place it in the hole, keeping the top of the root ball level to the soil. So the root ball needs to be level to the soil. And then step 4, backfill the hole, amending your soil with compost or peat moss if needed. And I think I have a bag of compost I'm going to bring here and split it between the 3 trees. Then step 5, gently tap down the soil to remove any air pockets. And step 5, water well and add a layer of mulch around the planting area, 3 inches away from the trunk. So as you can see, we have lots of leaves already. It's the fall, so I'm gonna just use leaves that I'm gonna mulch all around the tree. And it says 3 inches away from the trunk. 3 inches is not a lot, but I leave space. So from the trunk, leave 3 inches of space so there's no mulch right against the trunk, and then put it all around. So I'm gonna do that, and we're gonna get started. As you saw, I already dig this hole. I'm gonna dig the other 3 holes, and then I'm going to be putting the T-post. All right, so let's go ahead and get started. All the black soil that you see here is soil that we added when we planted the tree the last time. Oh, that's a rock. So this is really good soil base for a tree. So I'm gonna leave that there. And then I'll take it out when I bring the tree and see how much I need to take out so that the root ball is literally at the level. The wire is 48 inches tall, 4 feet, and there will be 2 feet away from the tree in all sides. So I'm hoping that should be enough. I found a 50-foot roll, which will be enough for all 3 of my trees, and it was $60 a roll, and I will have extra for any future needs. The T-post is a 5.5 feet tall T-post that is from end to end, but you see at the bottom how it has these wings type of thing that should be buried. So even though it's 5.5 feet tall, it really is going to end up being, it will end up being 4 feet tall in the ground, because this is about 1.5 feet, and that's how deep I'm digging it. I'm leaving this outside so that we can dig the T-posts out when we want to, and the white will let you see where the T-posts are from far away. And so all I'm doing right now is I'm putting 3 of them around the hole, and that's where I'm going to surround the wire around. So I had to turn this around because I have left the little things inside and I needed them outside, so I re-dig it. And now this is when you're going to use this. This is very heavy. This is 18 pounds of help to dig this T-post down. So if you're a woman and you're alone and you want a fence, you can make a fence with T-post and wire, and I certainly don't have the strength to hammer this down, but this does. Let's see how it works. First time ever. Put it inside where you want it, and then up and down. Wow, look at that. That's awesome. So I basically dig all the way to where the little wings are. And I think this is good enough. If I need to dig it further in, I will, but I like it. I'm gonna do the rest of them. So I had to call my husband to help me figure out a way to cut this wire. And as we were looking at that, he got me a tool, the only tool he had. And then we tried to unroll it and try to see how I could cut it. And it appears that I do not have the strength to cut it. So what we agreed is I'm gonna unroll it, measure what I need, and then he's gonna come out and help me cut it. So that's another case for us ladies to learn to build more hand strength, I guess, because I really want to do it on my own. So I'm gonna separate the roll, measure around how long they have to be, and then ask him to come and cut it for me so I can put it up. But I'm not putting the trees until I know for sure that I can protect them. So we'll unroll it and measure it. Gotta wear those gloves. So I measured how deep it is versus the pot, because you remember, the tree has to be at root ball level. And so here's the root ball, and that is how deep it needs to be in. And we are right there. So basically, I'm going to now separate it from the thing so I can hopefully get it out of this thing. There you go. Yay. Okay. Now I need to make sure that it stays straight. I'm going to leave the bamboo in it, and then eventually I'll take it off. Perfect. We just need to go straight. Go straight. Is that it? Okay. Alright, now that the tree is planted and all the soil is compact, it looks to be pretty straight. Now I'm going to water it a lot so that it has a good amount of water to start getting in there and settling in the space and getting over the shock of the transplanting. Alright, let's go get some water. As this tree is absorbing the water, I'm going to go ahead and plant the other trees, and then I'm going to secure the fences around them, and but I'm going to make sure that I bring them a lot of water before I completely close them. So it is the next day. That means day number 3 in replacing, planting, and protecting my new fruit trees. Last night I tried my best to be able to close the video, but putting all the fence and securing it was my priority number 1, since I had already planted the trees and I wanted to make sure that they were protected
before I went out for the night. So I was able to do just that, and so by the time I was done, not only did it get dark, but it was also starting to rain. So I went inside and I decided, you know what, I'll just finish the video tomorrow. So let me show you really quick what the end result is of this and a couple of finishing comments.
All right, so really exciting that I was able to now replant my trees and protect them. As you can see, they are surrounded by a triangle of a little fence held up by 3 T-posts, and it looks great. I love it. I am sure they're going to be okay. This is my peach tree contender, and I'm very happy. The only thing that I'm going to do differently is that the closing or the end of the fence, I'm going to do it not in a permanent way. I use zip ties here to hold the fence against a T-post. But what I'm going to do is I am going to leave one end with just a clip. I don't have them right now, but I'm gonna go get them with the final clip so that I can actually open and close it so that I can clean up inside, water them, etc. This is the granny green apple tree. Looks great right inside of its protective cage. And this is the red delicious apple, again inside of its protective cage. Very happy with it. I think it's gonna do fabulous. And all of the trees, I bought them 5 to 6 feet tall, so they are already at least 1 to 2 years old, so that I can get them a really great start.
There was a lot of wind out there in my orchard. How cool it is to be able to say that. So I just wanted to come in here and say, hey, thank you for being with me in this video. Just a couple of comments. What I showed you is how to plant your tree and how to protect your tree. Now, obviously, there is not the only way that you need to protect your trees. Every tree has different pests and enemies, should I say. So whenever you plant a tree, learn and study what are the kind of things that you need to protect your tree from and prepare for that. That way you can have a long life, healthy tree in your house or backyard. So having said that, thank you for being with me today. I really appreciate you being here. I know that this video is a little longer than usual, but I didn't want to cut it because one of the things that I don't like is when you have part 1 and part 2, etc. And I figured I'd just stretch it a little bit. And I'm just a gardener that does, her work 10 minutes at a time here and there to be able to build this beautiful garden. And that just means that if I can do it, you can do it too. So I hope that this video inspires you to maybe grow trees in your backyard, even if it's just one, and that way you can have nice, fresh fruits every year. Thank you for being with me in this video, and see you in the next one. Bye-bye.